Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Bachnight, and I am going to read to you a story that goes with Earth Day this week. This story is called Making Less Trash. And the reason that we're reading this is we're talking about conserving and reusing and reducing and recycling things so that we don't make more things to go in our landfills or things that just get blown around to make pollution in the oceans or in the air. And this will help us do all of those things if we follow what's in the story. So the title says, Our Earth Making Less Trash by Peggy Hawk. Notice we have a table of contents that tells us what's on each page and what section we can find different things. If I wanted to find out more about the lady that wrote the story, I would want to go here to meet the author. I can look across and I can see page 24. So an example of how I would use that would be going to the back of my book. There's page 24. And right here I can see where it says meet the author. And Peggy Hawk lives near San Francisco, California. She likes to go backpacking in the mountains of the Sierra Nevada with her husband and her 2 grown children. She used both sides of the paper to write this book. So she even gives you an example of how she is reusing, reducing, and recycling when she made this story. We're going to go ahead and start with some of the vocabulary words. Some of these match the words that we're already using this week, and some of these will be new. This one says air pollution. And if you notice this really foggy area that looks dirty, that's because there's a lot of smoke and dirt in the air. This word down here says packaging. Packaging means all of the things that are food or things that we buy at the store come in. Sometimes we use them only one time, and sometimes, like plastic bags, we can use them again and again. This one says landfill. If you notice, you can see a big pile of trash. A landfill is also called a dump. It's a place where people take all the garbage. That's where the garbage trucks go. And then people put the dirt on the ground or inside a hole in the ground. They cover it with dirt. And then after the next time they bring more garbage, they put that inside the hole or make a pile on top of the dirt that they did the day before and keep making the landfill bigger and bigger. 4 more words that you might need to know for this story are garbage trucks. I'm sure you guys have seen these, and when you go out walking around in your community, sometimes you might be able to see them. They come to your house usually. The ones that we see are usually green, but they can come in many colors. These are grocery bags. They're the plastic bags that you get if you go to the grocery store, but sometimes you can also get them from other places. Usually, department stores have them as well. Sometimes when you buy your clothing, they're also there. And plastic. Plastic is anything that is made of the plastic material. That can include water bottles, plastic bags, containers that we only use one time that are like little bowls or little square containers can be made out of plastic. A lot of our toys are made out of plastic. Containers and crates and boxes are a lot of times made with plastic. And the last word that we might need to know is recycle. Recycle means to take something that's already been used, destroy it or melt it, and make it into something that's the same thing or a similar thing to be used again. This page is the title of our chapter, How Much Garbage. How much goes into your trash can each day? Most Americans throw away more than 4 pounds or 2 kilograms of trash each day. Together, Americans fill thousands of garbage trucks every day. Garbage trucks help keep our cities clean, but where does all that garbage go? Make a prediction. Where do you think the garbage goes? We've already talked about it a couple times, and I know you guys have talked about it on Earth Day before with your kindergarten and pre-K teachers. Most garbage is taken to a huge dump called a landfill. Landfills use up a lot of land. Some cities burn their garbage instead. That saves space, but it can cause air pollution. Here's another picture of the air pollution. And remember our vocabulary for where we burn our garbage. Those structures are called incinerators. When this landfill is full, the people who live nearby will need a new place to dump their trash. In Lee County, our trash does go to a landfill, but we do also have a recycling program. Getting rid of trash is a problem. One way to solve that problem is to make less trash. Everyone can do this by following 3 rules called the 3 R's. What are the 3 R's? They are reduce, reuse, and recycle. How can you cut down on the amount of garbage you throw out? Just like we have the blue bins at school for recycling paper, this boy is recycling a plastic bottle. They're showing you that cans can be recycled. How many of these things do you do at your home? The first R stands for reduce. Reduce means to use less. One way to use less is to buy only what you need. Try to buy things without a lot of packaging. Empty packages take up a lot of landfill space. Notice they have egg cartons, milk cartons. This one is a little one. What if you get 1 big gallon of milk instead of several little cartons? Think of how much difference that would make in how much goes in the garbage can. We've got water bottles, soda bottles, glass bottles, little boxes, plastic that was on top of cookies or chips. Many packages will be thrown away after this meal. How could you pack a trash-free lunch? Notice the orange juice container will get thrown out. Do you think there's anything that will get thrown out from the apple? Only the apple core. The apple core will make a little bit of garbage, but that kind of garbage will break down and turn into more dirt. But look at this. It looks like either Jell-O or pudding. All of the outside container and the lid are going to get thrown away. What about the packaging for the popcorn? So there would be 2 things thrown away here, the packaging there, and the orange juice box. What if you use a thermos or a water bottle? And what about the plastic on the sandwich? You could save that by not throwing it away and using it again the next day. The second R is for reuse. That means to use things again instead of throwing them away. You can reuse grocery bags. You can also reduce paper by writing on the back. In our classroom, I have a bin of papers that I sometimes hand out to you guys when we do activities that are blank on one side but have writing on the other. The reason that I save those papers is so we can use the back before we throw it out. What can you do with toys or clothes you don't need anymore? You could give them away or have a garage sale. Look at how much trash she saved by giving the bike away or selling it instead of trying to throw it in the garbage because she didn't want it or need it anymore. The last R stands for recycle. To recycle means to make new things from old things. Paper, glass, and plastic take up most of the space in landfills. They can be recycled into new products instead. Look at this woman's jacket. It's made from recycled plastic bottles. Something that you can do if you're buying clothing, you can look for things that say made of recycled plastic. Reducing, reusing, and recycling can keep trash out of landfills. That's one way to keep our world healthy. Think of ways you can use the 3 R's. You may be able to help the planet and have some fun too. This girl is doing a STEM project. She's making art while she's reusing and recycling many things. I can see styrofoam pieces like from packing. I can see a container from juice. I can see a paper towel roll. What else can you see that she's using to make an art project that would normally go in the trash can? This shows how we can take old paper and make it into new. All of these things are cardboard and old newspapers. They shred it all up into tiny little pieces. Then water mixed with chemicals clean the paper so that the ink comes off. Then the wet paper is all mashed up and it's called pulp. The pulp is dried and pressed so it's flat and makes paper again. The new paper is put on rolls or stacked in sheets. You can look for notebooks and paper that says made of post-consumer recycled paper, and that way you know that you're helping to recycle when you buy things. Here are some ways that we can use plastic again. It can be made into carpets, playground equipment, hat, picnic tables. There are also some parks in Lee County that have this green or brown. It looks almost like lumber, but it's really made from recycled plastic. The end. What causes our planet to get dirty? How many ways can you think of that cause our planet to get dirty? What's the effect? What happens when our planet is dirty? Stop and think about cause and effect for this story.